Hello everyone, it's Melissa. Welcome back. I had a little bit of a break. I know it didn't seem like that, but I was on spring break and so now I'm back and happy to be doing another layout. And so what you see there is a cut file that says love you lots, and that's a freebie from the Paper Issues store. And if I remember, I will put a link in the description box below. I'm starting off by pulling from my product jar. You can see there that I pulled eyelets, roller stamps, stitching, sewing, ephemera, project life card, mist, and tags. And in fact, the only thing I don't get used is eyelets. And there you can see how I store my Valentine love themed paper and embellishments. And so this is in fact a layout about Valentine's Day, and I printed my photos to 3x4s in black and white. And you know, I tend to do that only when I'm trying to really focus on a color and a theme. And so you can see there that I've got some papers pulled from my stash. That there is a ridiculously old paper, which you guys, so happy to say that the scraps that I have left there, those were used up almost entirely, and I threw what was left in the garbage, which was not much. But that is an old exclusive paper from Archivers, so 10 plus years old. And so what I used it for was backing a lot of the letters in the cut file, with the exception of the O's. And I left the centers of the O's out just so I could back them up in a pink from my stash, just a cardstock. And originally there you see I am playing with the chipboard hearts from the Allie Edwards Stamp of the Month or Stories of the Month Club. And I decided not to do that only because I found in my stash, in my embellishment container, a really old set. Oh, here's what I'm showing you to before, not to get sidetracked, but this paper here from Lily B Designs, that is what I used as my color scheme, which was turquoise, pinks, like grays, and maybe a black, but more so the turquoise and pinks. And I think I show it again, but I might not, I'm sorry. But anyway, from this Kiss Kiss collection, this crepe paper, I found some old wood veneers that I had left in my stash. Those are some recollection pins, and you'll see me shortly remove the backing from the pin and use that as a piece of flair. But so right in those O's, you see that I have the wood Kiss Kiss crepe paper veneers, heart shapes, and so I'll put one in each of the O's, and I'll actually add one down to my daughter's shirt there. You see me here removing the pin backing from that XO speech bubble piece of flair, and I'll flatten that out actually with, I have a Tim Holtz tag maker, so I'll flatten it out with that. I will later add some white thread behind that, but well, there's that paper again. See, I'm just referencing it to see what colors I want to bring in and which ones I want to focus on. And I end up fidgeting quite a bit with a lot of the, pieces to this. But what I'm going to pull from here is another piece of scrap pattern paper, and I really like the one right in the middle there that has the tab embellishment already on it. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. And ultimately what I will use is my Heidi Swap date stamp, one of my favorites, and I will add February 14th, 2019 for Valentine's Day. You won't see me do that on camera, but you'll see it at the end. And so that, along with two other stamps, is what I'm going to add in for my stamping elements. And I am going to just fluff that up a little bit to give it some dimension, and that's where it's going to rest eventually down the road. You see I have that heart, the kind of the negative. It was from a background stamp, or a background die, and I don't end up using it actually, so it's not going to make it. Here I have a scrap of pink paper. I don't know where it's from. It's just pattern paper from my stash. I'm going to use it kind of a little wonky, and I'm going to half back up my photos. I like doing that. It kind of gives a little bit of color peeking through, and also I don't know, kind of for me, it acts a little bit as a photo corner. I sometimes forget embellishments like photo corners, and a lot of times I don't want to add them in this instance because I would like to add a stamp into that white space above my head. So here's a Project Life card. This is from Pink Paisley. It's from a pattern paper cut apart sheet, and it's just got some typewriter keys on it. So it was really generic, and it has no real meaning into the photo or into the page itself, but I liked the color because, like I mentioned, that pattern paper that I wanted to pull my colors from had a dark gray, and essentially the pictures are in black and white, so that kind of reads two ways for my gray. Yeah, I'm just doing the same to the picture of my kids as I did to the one of my husband and I. And just roughing up the edges, I am going to add this heart here onto my daughter's shirt. And in keeping with the theme, I'll eventually pull from my stash a few more heart wood veneer shapes just to kind of give a visual triangle. Let's see, right here I am using a sticker that said, "Be My Valentine." Oh, here I'm using some Heidi Swapp Mist because that was from my product jar. I'm showing you some stamping I did on that photograph, and that is a Felicity Jane stamp. Showing you my date stamp there. And the Felicity Jane stamp is called Felicity. You've seen me use that a number of times if you've watched any of my videos. So yeah, before I forget, really quick, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I'm always looking for more subbies. And I will put my social media links in the description box below. Would love for you to come check me out, follow me over there. And I typically post one video a week. So, okay, so back to the sticker I found in my stash. I'm going to essentially end up, I was going to leave it long, and I'm essentially going to end up cutting it down and just using it as like a word sticker embellishment. And I'm going to go ahead and add that onto my photo. And it just says, "Be My Valentine." I don't know if the readability is on my camera as good as it is in real life, but that is in fact what it says. And so a frame from Simple Stories I pulled out of my stash, and I pulled, you know how I don't like a ton of dimension on my scrapbook pages in my album, so I'm really going to pull a lot of the dimension off of that frame. And I actually cut it in half too, so I could stretch the length of one side of my photo to the other. Now here I am going to adhere this photo, and I'm attached to the Y on my title that says "Love You Lots" is a tag, which was a product pull, and also the word "moi," like a mwah kiss. And I pulled that actually from the Happy Day Felicity Jane stamp set as well, which I don't believe is available anymore. And I just adhered it with some gold crochet twine, which was part of my sewing element. So I'm going to show you some close-ups. Like I mentioned, I would love for you to subscribe and follow me and head over to my other social media links. That would be lovely. I wanted to read you the journaling, which says, "This day with all of my loves. Serena, Sophie, and I went to see Kelly Clarkson downtown, had such a blast. Notice I have a new little cutie in our Valentine's hug," which, obviously you can see as my new puppy, which I have spoken about before, and I do have a layout that I documented with my little pup, which probably will go up before this, but yeah, you'll get to see some of her first photos. You can see down at the bottom there I have the wood veneer from my stash, those two hearts. And I just love the way this turned out, you guys. I'm really happy with it, and I hope you are too. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time, and have a lovely week. And yeah, bye.